Okay, so we are going to start, okay? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this special webinar. My name is Soledad Díaz, and I'm Managing Director of Association of Science and Technology Park of Spain, APTE. This webinar is about international use cases of disruptive technologies, and it is organized by a Spanish technology platform for disruptive technologies, what we call Disruptive. Disruptive is managed by APTE, and is one of the Spanish technology platforms funded by Ministry of Science and Innovation through a Spanish Science Agency. And it's focused in the promotion of knowledge, development, and application of disruptive digital technologies. Currently, Disruptive has more than 400 members from different kinds of entities, for example, companies, universities, R&D groups, technology center, etc. But they all have one thing in common, being an important interest in digital transformation. The aim of these webinars is to promote knowledge, and in this case also, the international collaboration between Spanish and Turkish companies and organizations interested in this type of technologies. Before proceeding, I would like to thank Turkish Association of Technology Parks, TGBD. Faruk Inaltekin is the managing director of this association and is here with us for helping us to contact with these three companies that are participating in today's webinar as speakers. And also we thank International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation, ISP, for helping us to spread this event around the world. The attendees of the webinar of today can write in the chat the question they want to ask to our speakers, and they will answer at the end of the event once they have finished their speeches. In today's webinar, we are going to learn about use cases of digital technologies of three companies located in three Turkish science and technology parks: Bilisi in Badisi Technology Development Zone, Technopark Istanbul, and Bilkent Cyberpark. These companies are going to explain us how they are applying artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and blockchain. Each speaker has 15 minutes, more or less, to present the use cases. So let's go to know the first one from the hand of Batuhan Özcan. Batuhan Özcan is the founder of Syntonym, a company located in Bilisi Badisi Technology Development Zone, and he's talking about privacy, preserving visual data, anonymization technology for IA training. When you want, Batuhan, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure for us to be here, and thanks giving us this opportunity. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah. I am Batuhan. I am the founder of Syntonym. Syntonym, in a nutshell, we synthetically generate non-existing faces for data anonymization purposes. But before coming to what we are doing, let me try to explain you why we are doing this. As we all know, we are living in a world which is driven by AI. And more specifically, if you're talking about automated systems, high-tech technologies, self-driving cars, robotics, drones, that means we are highly relying on visual data. When I say visual data, it's a data generated through cameras, right? And one thing we have to bear in mind is that especially processing visual data is very crucial for technology providers, because we are not only processing an ordinary type of data, we are actually processing our biometric informations. What I mean with biometric information is that all this visual data contain our faces, which are our unique components, and it's kind of have the potential of driving the world we are living into a dystopic surveillance society unless we pay enough attention on what we are doing, our biometric faces. And one fact I would like to highlight For instance, if we are talking about security cameras, we may have a legitimate reason to put those security cameras according to GDPR in our store. But one thing we have to make sure is that we only put these cameras, or in other words, we only have the permission to put those security cameras only and only for security purposes. If you would like to do further analysis, collect data, process for any other reason, any more data, we have to find a way to comply with GDPR, KVKK, the Turkish version, or the CCPA, the American version, of data protection, data processing regulations. So I think it's very clear. Whatever our initial reason to put a camera there, we have to stick with that initial reason unless we anonymize the data. But at the same time, we all know that, especially with artificial intelligence systems, the more data we feed our systems, the better the algorithm gets. Simply means if we would like to make a self-driving safer and more efficient, we have to find a way to feed our systems with as diverse as data possible, as much data as much possible, right? So this leaves us with a trade-off of, shall we collect and process data, or shall we comply with GDPR and privacy regulations? And bearing in mind that privacy is not only for regulation compliance reasons, but also this is our social duty. It's our community's duty to pay attention on people's private life, privacies, and the data we are collecting from them, right? So anonymization exactly solves this trade-off, which is collecting data and paying attention on privacy regulations around the globe, right? And these are some examples. If you don't pay attention on data protection regulations all around the world, in Germany, a retail store just fined more than 10 million euros just because they were putting the cameras and they were observing their employees. So it's important. It's not the customers, employees. So imagine what happens if you process data of the customers, right? So it's not about the customers. Also, it's also about the employees, and it's all about why we are putting the cameras there, why we are processing this data. There are different industries we are actually targeting, but maybe you haven't heard of this before. You never thought of this before. But automotive industry is like one of the main stakeholders for us. Why? Because we are talking about self-driving cars. Self-driving cars means so many cameras. Just imagine Tesla. Tesla has a single Tesla has more than 6 cameras in each car, and they are recording more than 40 terabytes of data every day. So that data is coming from our streets, your streets, our homes, your children, your beloved ones, and everyone in the frame of Tesla is being recorded and processed to the United States. I'm sure it might be okay when you hear this first, but face if you a little bit like make research about how dangerous face recognition algorithms are, then you will understand what I mean. I mean, once you are in the frame of any single camera, you can be found anywhere in the world for any reason, for political reasons, for good reasons, for bad reasons, for monitoring reasons, for any reasons. That's why the world started to make some voice for also the automotive industry, and they started to question what kind of data you guys are processing, both with external cameras and internal car cameras, right? So Tesla is being sued in Germany and France for this reason. And then also China, it's a very interesting case actually, because we don't usually hear good things about privacy in China, but China, maybe this is why, maybe that's why they know what can be done. China is paying extra attention on this and just came up with their own automated data collection regulations. I will be showing shortly. Simply says that if you collect data from any car before sending to any other car in your servers, you have to anonymize. So Tesla car cameras spurred China to review car data regulations, and this is the German news that was popping up over there. And this is the regulation I was mentioning. So it's not only a European version GDPR, but also PIPL, which came into effect 1st of December last year. So it's a very recent one. As you see, Article 3, according to PIPL, provides that personal information, all kinds of information related to pedestrians, vehicle owners, drivers, passengers, and individuals outside the vehicles recorded by any electronic and other means, which means camera, radar, lidar, excluding, that means unless the information has been anonymized, is prohibited. So what we do, we came up with a novel way of synthetically anonymizing the data. What makes our solution unique is that we don't damage the data while we're anonymizing. What I mean with the damage is that you can use this data for AI training, so we don't damage the data structure-wise. Also, you can run further analytics on the data because we don't damage the utility of the data. How we do this? Instead of blurring out the faces, which is the traditional way, we synthetically generate non-existing faces and replace the original ones with the new ones. When we replace the faces, everything in your face except your biometric information is preserved. What is preserved? Your gaze, your age, your gender, your emotions, your head positioning, your color, everything is preserved except your biometric information. So we kind of built, in a way, digital twins in a visual world. So to be more specific, instead of blurring out the faces, like in the middle, which is a traditional data anonymization according to GDPR 29, Article 29, we turn the person on the left side to the persons on the right side. And I assure you that this person doesn't exist and there is not such a person. This is how it looks like in a video. So this is the real woman and this is the woman that we generated. All you see, all emotions are preserved.
Natural.
While face recognition is false, which is a quantitative proof that these persons are different people.
Smile. Natural. Sad. Natural.
So not only external cameras, but also we are talking about robotaxis, as we mentioned, self-driving cars. So what happened to our mobile phones in the early 2000s now happening to our cars? So inside a car is going through with a big transformation, which means it will be equipped with advertising, screens, Netflix, everything you can think of, because we will be traveling from Madrid to Barcelona, and since we are not driving the car, we have to find a way to spend our time inside the car, right? So that's why inside the car, which means the cabin, is going through a very big transformation. And guess what? There are cameras inside the cabins for many reasons. And even this is more dangerous than the external cameras because it's our very private space. It's inside our car. So it's like inside our house. So that's why we are also anonymizing the internal car cameras. This is another example. This is on the left corner. You see that this is the real person and this is the synthetic version. And you see all these face recognition algorithms are false with the new face. And everything looks natural. Yeah. And this is also important for understanding the intentions because faces are arguably the most valuable data sources for a human body. So when we are driving, when we are walking, when we are like shopping, we understand the intentions of the customers or the pedestrians. That's why understanding where they are looking at, how are their emotions, what are their like demographics and age grouping is very important, which is preserved with synthetic lossless anonymization. This is the case. So we are targeting the retail, inside the store, shelves, anything. Video banking, because maybe you heard of know your customer systems. If you wanna talk to your banker, or if you wanna be a customer, digital onboarding, you're using all this kind of FaceTime like systems. So everything you're collecting and processing visual data is target for Syntonym. Public sector, advertising. If you're looking at the screens, what are you, if you're happy with what you see in the screens, and everything can be targeted with Syntonym. And we are proud to be part of Samsung Next ecosystem, which is set to be one of the hottest topic for Samsung in the next 5 years. We synthetically generate faces, and we have the power of preserving you, not only for data compliance purposes, for also digital world. What I mean is that, let me show you a little demonstration. I will change my camera, and you'll see what I mean. So, for instance, can you see me now?
Yes, yes. Very different.
Exactly. So, I think I have a little bit internet connection error, but you can see me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I can see you.
So with these kind of faces, we also, I'm back here. We will also unlock so many different things for the digital world, from meetings over the Zoom to your meetings with your psychologist or private meetings. So we are very determined to protect people's privacy, not only for technology, for self-driving cars or retail or shopping, but also in the digital world. So, for instance, unfortunately, there is a war going on, for instance, in the middle of Europe, right? So if you want to talk against someone in Russia, you will be put in the jail directly. At least some of them are facing these kind of threats, because if you talk against someone, especially someone in power in Russia, then they will find you from your face with face recognition algorithms, and you won't be able to give your free speech, right? But with technologies like us, we are able to convey what we are thinking in real time while protecting people's privacy. So it's not only pushing the technology in a better way for humankind, but also we are pushing the world for a better world, for free speech, for a free mindset, for everything, with these kind of disruptive technologies. So thanks for listening, and I'm happy to answer if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Batuhan, and congratulations for the application, because it's a very important issue. The privacy is a very, very interesting application. So I think many companies will be interested in it. Okay. Hopefully, thank you so much. And the end of the speech, people, if you have any question, can tell the question or write in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much. Now we start by getting to know the Qubitrium use cases. We have today to Kadir Durak, this founder of Qubitrium, and Qubitrium is a company located in Technopark, Istanbul. He's going to talk about developed advanced quantum technologies on the verge of the second quantum revolution. So very, very interesting topic also. So Kadir, when you want, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction, and first of all, the invitation to this event. I hope more events like this will happen. I think it's very promising. Let me just share my screen and.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me just start by introducing myself a little bit, and then the company. I did my PhD in National University of Singapore, so most of my work, or like even Qubitrium's work, is shaped in this work that I did in Singapore, Center for Quantum Technologies. In 2017, I joined Özcan University as an assistant professor. Right now, I have a faculty position, ongoing faculty position over there in electrical and electronics engineering department. And in 2020, I started up Qubitrium in Technopark, Istanbul. So I have two teams, one in university and one in Qubitrium. So we are working in the quantum technologies. My PhD was about cold atoms, writing and reading and storing information on the cold atoms. It's something to do with this quantum computation with the neutral atoms. After PhD, I worked on satellite-based quantum key distribution from space to ground quantum key distribution project. As you see, we had some modules that we sent to satellites and then tried to establish some quantum key distribution from space to ground. This is basically okay. So just to give an introduction, so what is the problem? The problem is as we all know, it's the cryptographic security. With the quantum computers at the edge of being built, we have some security problems, and the legitimacy of this problem was first established in 2016 with this question and answer acknowledgement. This one was established by, published by a National Security Agency. As you know, they provide crypto suits to companies and countries, governments for cryptographic security, and they guarantee 30 years. Within the next 30 years, there won't be any technology that can break the codes, break the cryptographic schemes they provide. But with this question and announcement, they said that we cannot give this guarantee anymore because there may be some parties who has quantum computers and not telling it explicitly. So in that case, we don't have this guarantee anymore. So that was the first signal that, you know, the legitimate problem of security problem of this quantum computer assisted attacks. So, and the solution comes from the quantum as well, and that's the quantum key distribution, or in general terms, quantum cryptography. And specifically, I will talk about the entanglement-based quantum cryptography. Well, entanglement can be considered like this. You have Siamese twins. One of them is in, let's say, in Spain, the other one is in Turkey. You do something to the one in Spain, and somehow the one in Turkey feels it. So you can think of that way. So we use this for communication and for other applications. And we basically start by building these entangled photon sources in some research project in the laboratory. Then later on, this project turned out, gave some outputs. We made some certain technologies. And then the next project, again, to give birth to Qubitrium was the quantum key distribution network. And inside the university campus, we have a miniaturized quantum key distribution network. We have a quantum key distributor, as you see here on a rooftop. This is like a base station for the, you know, like all times we had this communication base station. This is like a base station, so it can deliver the keys to the terminals to establish some cryptographic key that we can use for secure communications or identity, digital signatures for authorization. So these projects gave some outputs, and the first one was with another project. Qubitrium big project is a project that is funded by Qubitrium to give to support the startups in that sense. So we first made the single photon detectors and entangled photon sources with these projects. We have some products right now. You can see over here on this photo. These are photon detectors. So this is inside a photon detector. So we have very multiple versions of these photon detectors operating in the near-infrared regime, visible regime, and also passive caged and active caged, with cooling, without cooling, lots of versions. So they're ready to operate in the labs or any applications for quantum key distributions. So the other product we made was the entangled photon sources. For that one, we needed to make this laser current driver, and the backside of this one, we built this, as you see here, we built the components one by one to make this entangled photon source. And the output of this entangled photon source can be seen on camera. So what we will see is the entangled photons. And when these two circles match perfectly, we have the perfect entangled state that can be used for quantum key distribution or imaging or any other purposes. So this is a direct video with a CMOS camera, the output of these entangled photon sources. You see the signal and ID modes when they perfectly overlap these two circles. Yeah. So basically, this is how we tune these entangled photon sources. These entangled photon sources are used in multiple purposes. One of them is for quantum imaging. So we have a collaboration with Belarus National Academy of Sciences. We are making a quantum microscope. We are building the microscope prototype right now, but soon to be, well, the next step is to commercialize it. And the idea is using the momentum correlations of these photons, entangled photons, we can do imaging with the super resolution. We have some outcomes like academic results that will be published soon, and then we have basically a patent for using this entangled photon sources in the ghost imaging configuration to perform quantum LiDAR or quantum radar experiments. There's also a defense project ongoing on this context. And the other application of these entangled photon sources and the photon detectors that we can use is this quantum key distribution. And from the space to ground, we need to establish quantum key distribution to provide intercontinental, if possible, global quantum network. So to do that, there are multiple milestones that has been achieved, and some of them are to be achieved. The first one is from the optical ground station, we send the entangled photons, or the photons just carrying the bits, to the satellite. So this is an uplink configuration. This is established in Canada, KeyNet project. And the second one is studied in Singapore. In fact, we did the first quantum experiment in space in 2016 with my team over there. And then the second one is done. And the third one was done by China's MySeas satellite that they established intercontinental quantum key distribution from Beijing to Vienna. And the next and the missing step here is satellite to satellite quantum key distribution so that we can have a global quantum network. So basically we have a project on this one, but just to give you a brief history of what has been done. So our approach. So basically we built this miniaturized nano satellites, very small satellites, and put everything inside because they are cost effective. You can send multiple of them, just like Starlink. So we can send multiple of them. That's why like we need to miniaturize all these quantum payloads to fit into CubeSats. The first one was a failure. It was an explosion in 2014. NASA's rocket exploded that was carrying our quantum payload, but luckily it somehow survived the rocket explosion, and that was published. And the next launch trial was successful. Galatia, that was the first quantum experiment in space. And in 2020, end of 2020, we sent Spooky One. Well, I contributed somehow to this project as well, and this was published in as a paper as well, and this was carrying a quantum payload as well. And the next step is a satellite to satellite quantum key distribution. So these are the details of this entangled photon source that we can put it inside a CubeSat. So the idea for this project is it's a Eureka project with Singapore, between Singapore and European Union basically. And as an associate country, so we are representing as Qubitrium, we are representing the Europe here. And what we do is a satellite to satellite quantum key distribution. So there, as you see, this is the satellite. This is very small actually. This is 20 centimeters, just to give you an idea. So, and we are building this FPGA-based embedded system for real-time quantum key distribution. For doing the timestamping of the photon detection events and running the quantum key distribution algorithm for secure communications. And there are also like receiving module. We are also building these detectors that are very small in size. These are the layout of these detectors. And the dimensions are very small, 3 centimeters to 5 centimeters. It's like tiny size. It has to be small to fit into these satellites. So basically we are building these hardwares, and our partner in Singapore, they are having this service providing business model where they will have a satellite and then they deliver keys and then for secure communication. So basically we are developing the hardwares, and we have the IPs of these hardwares that we are developing on this project. We also have started these quantum trainings. There are lots of quantum trainings available, but the only difference we have here is we also have this applied trainings. So basically half of the day there are theoretical explanations on board, as you see here. And in the afternoons, we are making this with these small breadboards, with small groups. They are building quantum key distribution experiments and then gain experience so that they can continue their work as well. These trainings we have for 3 topics: quantum sensing, quantum key distribution, or in general terms, quantum communications, and quantum computations. The quantum computation part is mostly on making quantum simulators on GPUs. That's pretty much covers our projects. We also have some other projects for protecting the critical infrastructures like the energy distribution lines, cyber security of these distribution lines. We are having a project with the the relevant government organization by using the quantum key distribution. Thank you. If you have questions, I'd like to.
Thank you so much, Kadir. Very, very important and very interesting topics. Also, the quantum internet, the quantum network, the quantum cryptography, also connecting with the security and cybersecurity right now, very important today. So, very congratulations. There are topics that are similar to topics that are working some of members of our platform. So, very interesting to initiate some collaboration with them. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Get in touch. Thank you very much.
Okay. Finally, it's the turn of Dusoft. That this is a company located in Bilken Cyber Park, and we have today Murat Duran. He is the CTO. I don't know if Chief Destroyer Officer or Chief Digital Officer of Dusoft and co-founder of this company.
Definitely.
It's very, very, very, I would like to highlight that the Dusoft has received many awards for being one of the top 500 technology companies in Turkey. Congratulations. So
thank you very much.
We are very happy to give you today. So the time is yours when you want to start your presentation.
Thank you very much. First of all, I am outside, and for that reason, if you have any outstanding voice, please forgive me, because in Turkey it is the holiday time, and I was out of Ankara. For that reason, if you have any disrupting noises, please forgive me.
Okay, don't worry.
Okay. We are a company developing software for the government projects and the financial institutes, the banks and the other companies in Turkey and in Europe, and as well as we have two customers in United States. And up to now, we all have our customers projects, and we are a tailor-based company developing softwares. But since by the time I had my presentation, but right now I couldn't share my screen from the computer that I am connected to. For that reason, I am just telling my story and my company's story. As Mr. Kadir, I was in the satellite program in TÜBİTAK space. The former name is the Bilten for 7 years, and then I set up the Dusoft and go on through with the Dusoft developing softwares for the customers. Since 2017, we are focusing on the blockchain technologies, and I am one of the Bitcoin developer, one of the 100 Bitcoin developers all over the world. And we are developing blockchain projects for the companies, for the governments up to now. But for the last year, as you know, the magic word of the metaverse, now we are developing a new project for our company, and we call the name of the project is the Digital Unity Extreme Experience. Because as you know, right now, if you could redesign the world you live in, where would you start? That's the key point. We began to dream the duxX. We call the Digital Unity Extreme Experience as the duxX short name. And we want to regenerate and redesign something you have lived in the physical world and you want to have in the visual world. Being an identity, a citizen in that virtual world, because you become a member of a family, the community, and you have experiences right now, you have enjoys, you learn, you trade, you earn assets, you invest something, you play games, you have your life and you just feel everything. And we want this duxX is the bridge between the real and the virtual world for everything you have ever known, heard, experienced, and imagined so far. And we are designing this duxX right now, and 2 days later, just on the 5th of May, we will launch our first version of the duxX, and we are pretty excited about this. that the first version of the duxX is touching the people, beginning with the know your customer stage. And duxX is something different from the gamification, because everyone right now, I am sure that you are hearing or reading something about metaverse or something related to the metaverse every day right now. We are not a solution to a problem. We are an alternative lifestyle experiencing what you have or you haven't ever had. It's a single entry gateway allowing multi-purpose features within different blockchain platforms and applications right now. Simply, it is a DAO, as you know, the digital distributed autonomous organizations that allow everyone to design their own journey with their unbounded everything. I mean that you are a body here and you are living in a physical somewhere, and you have some options to make it to have the bridge with the visual version of your life. And beginning with the metaverse, after the Facebook changed their name as the metaverse, just think yourself, you are not only breathing, and you are not only a mankind. You have dreams, aims, relatives, a background, and with many success and fails, you as yourself with your all feelings. We will be, as duxX, a virtual tech platform that binds your reality and ever-ending experiences with each other. Having the Web3 and the blockchain power, we will very rapidly translate and transition, give the transition this life with the other visual life. And as far as I see, right now, there are lots of companies having some gamification features and on the blockchain platforms. But decentralization doesn't mean that you have something to, you should prove something on the blockchain. It's okay. But again, the community, all the DAOs will decide what should they do. And in near future, you will see that some communities and the DAOs will appear that they will design everything you have and in your near future. And in our community and in the duxX, you can take all the benefits from the real world. You can have all the best practices from the real world. You have all the opportunities in the real world and all the opportunities that you missed in the real world, and get them all from the real world to a virtual world. You will be in a confidence. You have some respect here. You trust to others, and the experience you enjoy will make you suffer from the other places in that virtual world. You will learn and you will earn. You will try something and you will satisfy from these tries, and you have some socialized places. You share your data and you share your feelings with all the others in that community. And as a result, duxX will be a platform on the blockchain, and not only the digital identity, but also the feelings and your enjoys and your all related things from the physical life to this virtual life. We will be very happy if you visit our websites 2 days later. All the other detailed information will be on our website, and we will very happy to get the first of the know your customer phase after you see our website. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Murat, and congratulations for this new version of the metaverse, duxX. We are expecting for the launch in 2 days, no? So we are very happy to see your project. So we reached the end of the webinar. So now is the turn of the participant. If anybody want to do a question to our speakers, you can write in the chat, or you can open the microphone and ask the question directly to our speaker. Come on, you had a very a good opportunity to give more information about the 3 important projects that our speakers are presenting today. So who is the first person to add something to our speakers? Come on. Okay, I have questions. If anybody have questions, I have questions. So I am going to start with Batuhan. I would like to know if you are collaborating with some Spanish companies in Spain to the distribution of your solution, some Spanish customers.
We haven't got any collaboration opportunity with Spain yet, but we are for sure looking forward to doing some stuff. Especially, I know that Spain is very good at both experience technologies, and also you have automotive industry as well as like some retail industry. So nothing yet, but we would like to.
Okay, okay. What is the sector more interesting in your solution right now?
We can start with car companies.
What sector of companies?
Automotive industry, I would
Okay,
say.
okay.
And retail industry.
Mm-hmm.
And any tech companies who are trying to make use of cameras actually in the target domain.
Okay, and you are talking about the compliance and the law, but the application is connected with the European law. What kind of law?
GDPR.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, right. So this is exactly a way of, probably the best way of being compliant with global data protection regulation, which is GDPR.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So, Kadir, what do you think is the most important barrier for the development right now of the quantum network, quantum internet? What is the most important barrier to the development?
The most important barrier.
Yeah.
I think it's the infrastructure. So to build such an infrastructure, huge investments are supposed to be made. And I think in European Union, there is one of them, this Quantum Internet Alliance. It's a very large scale project. So the number of these kind of projects should increase to have, for us to have quantum internet, for sign up for quantum internet. So the basic issue is building the infrastructure. So in this case, I think the infrastructure involves this satellites, sending lots of satellites to space so that we have uninterrupted key distribution all around the world, or the locations that we are interested in.
Okay. I saw in your information that you have collaboration with China, with Canada, with Spain, no? Not yet?
Not in Spain yet.
Okay.
Hopefully after this kind of interactions, we will have some collaborations as well. I have colleagues in ICFO, but not official, not official collaboration yet.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we are going to work in that. Okay.
Thank you.
I have some question in the chat from Miguel Castillo. It's a question for Murat about you told us you have been working with financial institutions. Is it possible to know in which use cases, Murat? I don't know if Murat is Murat here. I think I don't see he right now. No, I think Murat is not in the webinar now. So, any more questions for the audience? I don't know, Farouk, if If you want to say something about our collaboration, I want to encourage the collaboration between Turkish companies and an institution and Spanish company and institution. Only to finish the webinar. I don't know if Farouk is in the audience. Farouk, can you hear me, Farouk? No. Okay, if anybody has more questions, only to say thanks to all the speakers. Was very, very interesting to know about your right now. Murat, are you there?
Yes, right now I am
okay,
here.
okay. We have a question in the chat of a people, of a person of the audience. He wants to know about your financial. You are working with financial institution. Is it possible to know in which use cases? Can you hear me, Murat?
Hello. Yes, now I am hearing you, and I think you are asking about the financial use cases.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It's possible to know about that, about in which case you'll be working with financial institution?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Murat?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, now I am hearing you. I closed the video session, so sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Now you ask about our financial use cases?
Yes, because you told me you will working with financial institution. Miguel wants to know in which cases, in which use cases.
Yes, yes, we are working with all banks in Turkey and in some of the banks in Europe. And from the know your customer phase stage up to credit card personalization and using these credit cards online, we have some solutions for all these stages. And we are calling like that. If you have any bank account or any credit card in Turkey or in MENA, you should have touch our one line of code because we are working with all the banks in Turkey, and we have some solutions for all the banks in Turkey.
Okay, okay. So, okay, I have a last question for you. Is possible?
We are working for the know your customer and for the. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
No,
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I think we have problem with the sound of Murat. So, okay, if anybody had more questions, I think it's the time to finish the webinar. I only have to say thanks, a big thanks to all our speakers. We are going to work in promote collaboration between these speakers and the rest of the members of our platform and our association in order to provide new synergies between all of them. So thank you so much for your participation in the webinar of today. I hope to see you in the next webinar of Disruptive. Disruptive is now your home, and you can participate in all our activities in order to promote this synergy. Okay, thank you so much. I have some questions. Okay, no, don't worry. Thank you so much, and see you in the next webinar. Bye.
Bye.